Hey boys and ghouls, it's Warren here with Off Record Mike, and we are here for a screening of Pinocchio Unstrung. I just sat down with Rhys Frake-Waterfield of Pinocchio Unstrung. We talked about the puppet, the scenes I couldn't be in the film, his favorite scene, and how one day I might get to die in one of his movies. Let's go! What was the biggest challenge and or technical challenge you faced during this film?
Yeah, it's definitely the puppetry, because Pinocchio is different to everything else we've had to work with before. So like on Blood and Honey 2, it was just like guys in a mask, so it was really easy to kind of direct them and get them to reposition themselves. But with Pinocchio, because he's literally a doll, and it's so hard to get him to just do the most simple things, like just grabbing something, moving from one position to another, and because of that, you have to be very, very careful when you're shot listing and you're planning how to sequence a scene, because those moments are so difficult. You need to try and utilize close-ups or a lot of mids and ways of working around that. So like a really good scene to highlight that is the hospital, where he's hiding around a corner, and there's multiple stages to that. You've got the trolley, the guy in the wheelchair goes past, he stood there, he looks back at Christopher Robin, he looks back at the trolley, and then he kind of just shifts like that. But it feels like a lot's gone on in that scene, but for Pinocchio himself, he's literally stood in one spot, just going left and right and left and right. So you have to kind of orchestrate things like that to make it work.
And then when he jumped, I'm like, how'd they make him jump? Like,
yeah, so with that, there was 2 shots stitched together. So literally we just had the puppet on the door, and then someone got it and quickly went boom, like this. You just move it fast, so it becomes a little bit of a blur. And then on the next shot, when he's by the trolley, what we actually did was we had him already fastened onto the trolley, so his hands were already gripped onto it, and his legs were away. And then on action, he just pulled in like that, and we had people with strings just yank it, so it just pulled in, and then when you stitch the shots, it looks like he's gone into a blur and then yanked himself onto it. So, but if you freeze frame on the individual frames, you'll see there's never a moment where his hand is grabbing around the pole. He's always already pre-locked onto it. Yeah, so you have to use tricks like that.
The magic of special effects, folks. Rhys, what's one scene for Pinocchio Unstrung that you cannot wait for audiences to experience in a theater?
There's a kind of Final Destination-esque like sequence.
I love that.
Which happens in the gym, and that normally gets the biggest reaction from people, and we've kind of already been feeling like that's been people's favourite sequence with it, and I think it's mostly because it's just really relatable. Everyone's been on a treadmill, most guys have squatted, and those thoughts have always gone through my head of what would happen if you're on a treadmill and then you slipped.
I am not getting on a treadmill or lifting for a while. Rhys said fans are talking about the gym scene because it's the most relatable. If you've ever been to a gym, this scene is definitely going through your head, because it's going through mine. And oh my god. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. My favorite part of chatting with Rhys, it was him telling me I could be in one of his films and get killed. This is a dream come true.
Who knows? Potentially, yeah. We need to. So we haven't got a fixed date for this yet on when it is. And sometimes what we do is, for example, in Blood and Honey 3, we have these big massacre-like sequences. Like there was one in Blood and Honey 2. So yes, whenever we've got a sequence like that,
the rave scene.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like that was just a big massacre. Blood and Honey 3 has a similar moment in it. So whenever we have a sequence like that in the films, that's when we've got room to bring someone over. So yeah, whenever we've got our next one, you can definitely come.
Thank you.
And yeah, we'll get you killed.
What's the next twist? What's the next Twisted Childhood Universe movie? Are we potentially looking at a Mad Hatter film?
But yeah, we're going to, once we've done Pooniverse, which is our crossover, that's what we're going to be at a time to think about what to do next. So I'll kind of see from them what other characters we want to tackle. But yeah, I mean, there's only certain ones which have a lot of kind of fame attached to them, and people know what they are. So there's only yeah, so certain monsters really make sense anyway
Right.
for us to go with, which we haven't already done.
Mickey?
So, yeah, well, yeah, like some of the most famous ones are probably like Mickey, Alice in Wonderland, Snow White, so Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
Alice and the Mad Hatter, I think,
Yeah, exactly.
right? There
yeah.
was...
I think Mad Hatter is a very interesting character. So that's something has been in our mind for a while.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll have to see.
I'm figuring out how I can get to London. Maybe I might do a GoFundMe. Stay tuned for more on that. I got stuck on Alice in Wonderland in the rabbit hole, the worst section of the ride. It still freaks me out. I don't want to get on it ever again, but I feel like I have to just to see the refurbishments. And yeah, I believe we walked through it, and that's even creepier because you feel like you're on acid most of the ride. And I've never taken drugs, but I know what the effects of acid could do to a person. And I'm just, I don't know. I get creeped out by the ride. Thank you, Rhys. It was a pleasure chatting with you. It was a pleasure chatting with all of you, to be honest. You guys were so kind and so sweet. And, you know, I gotta be honest, our chat made me even more of a fan of these movies now. So my excitement for the TCU films are through the roof. Go see Pinocchio Unstrung. If you missed it in theaters, you gotta get this on Blu-ray, DVD, physical media. Support physical media, guys. I cannot stress that enough.